Tivitie's Project Insights allows you to get visibility into your projects without having to do a lot of extra work and a lot of extra effort. So let's take a look at some of the capabilities here. We can create dashboards like you see here for specific roles or personalized to specific people. So you can come in and you can see at a high level how your portfolio is doing from a cost risk perspective. We can see status of projects. We can see risk versus ROI of our projects, as well as even bring in more agile types of metrics for our agile projects like sprint burndowns, bug trends, etc. From here, on your high-level dashboard, you can come click into any one of these if you want more information. For example, if I click into my portfolio status here, I can come in and then I can start to be a little bit more analytical and get a lot more detailed information if I choose to do so. I can come in and I can filter this down and just look at projects that are having problems, like projects where overall health is either red or yellow. Or if I wanted to focus in on a specific portfolio of projects, I can come in and here and I can say, I just want to look at my cutting cost portfolio, things of that nature. Once you're looking at the projects that you want to be looking at, I can say, okay, 3 of these projects are at risk, 22 are over budget, 22 are behind schedule, we have some active risks and issues, and now I can start to go through the different tabs here and focus more on my schedule information, what's my duration variances, things of that nature. I can see a Gantt chart or kind of a roadmap timeline of my different projects. I can look at cost information, budgets versus actual costs, so on and so forth. Even look at costs over time, and a lot of these reports are drill-in capable. So if I come and click on Q3 here, it'll actually drill me into the third quarter showing my budgets versus my actuals. So you can drill down to whatever level of data you want to see. So I can start at a very high level in a dashboard, and I can come and drill all the way down into specific costs around specific projects into certain periods of time and so on and so forth. So it allows me to get to the data really quickly, really easily. Can also see work summaries. I can see risks across these different projects and issues across these projects. And it's all very interactive. So if I click on my high priority part of my pie chart here, then it'll just show my high priority issues, things of that nature. Because we snapshot the data, we can also do trend analysis over time instead of just showing, what's current in the system right now, what's currently going on. We can also show, are we improving or are we getting worse over time? So this is a similar report to what we were just looking at, but I can go back in time and look at Q1 and see how many projects were at risk and so on and so forth. And as we tab through each of our different quarters here, we can see these numbers are going down. We're starting to get more projects on track, and we can see that we're improving. We can actually then show the value of what we're doing and how we're getting things on track and how we're improving over time, hopefully, if we are improving. You can do the same thing then with your schedule information, with your cost information, work information, and we can even have trend analysis type line charts that show us where we're going over time. We started out, we had a certain amount of projects that were red, yellow, and green, and hopefully over time we can see there's less reds, there's less yellows, we look like we're improving around schedule status, cost, work issues, etc., etc. We can also see how things like cost trend over time. Budgets increased in March, and then we can see it remained about steady from there. Our forecasts spending went up over time, but our cost variance is actually going down. So cost variance being the amount of overspending that we're doing better there. How did the number of late tasks trend over time? Well, we're trending down. That's great. Number of issues over time is going down. Things of that nature, so we can get an idea of how we're doing over time. This guy is actually showing some earned value metrics, my cost performance versus my schedule performance here. And what I'm hoping is that each one of these dots, which represents a project, all moves into my yellow or eventually into the green area here. I want my cost performance and my schedule performance to be at least, 1 is where my goal is. So if I come back here, I can go and look in Q1 how we were doing, and then in Q2 how we were doing, and hopefully things are moving towards 1 and getting me to the area that I want to be in. You can even do a play line on that. So if I hit play, we can just watch things move over time and see how that's trending. So it makes it really nice and easy to get a better picture of how we're doing. So from there are lots of other great things you can do to build some ad hoc types of reports. So if I come in, I'm now going to go to my project portfolio dashboard, and there's a feature called natural language query, which actually allows you to type a question and it'll build a report based off of your question. So for example, let's say I want to show average work variance, let's say. And notice as I'm doing this, it's kind of suggesting things to me, so it helps me type this, kind of like doing a Google or a Bing search, an internet search. So I want to show average work variance by project. So notice, now it created this particular chart for me based off of just what I typed in, right? All I did was I typed in what I wanted to see here, and now I can even change it. Maybe I don't want it to be a column chart. I'm sorry, maybe I want it to be a column chart, that type of a thing. Or maybe I want it to be a pie chart. I can kind of switch the type of chart just by typing in pie and things of that nature. And so I can play with this a little bit, get it the way I want it. Maybe I just want a regular list view of my projects and then the values here. If you want to be a little fancier, you can come in and you can utilize the editor over here to change font sizes and colors and things of that nature. And from there, I can add anything else into this report I want, but it makes it really quick and easy to come in and create actually new reports, which I can then pin back to those dashboards that we just saw. And there's a full set of pre-built reports in our report pack out of the box. We have reports around project requests, so seeing the requests that are coming in. We have reports around status like we saw earlier before. We have financial reports, so if you want to see costs and such, both over time, budgets versus actuals versus benefits, and the trend lines of those costs, things of that nature. We have project status reports, so if you want to come in and get a better idea of the status of individual projects. Resource reports to get an idea of who's available, who's being utilized, and who's not, those types of things, who's over allocated, as well as even timesheet reports that look at the time spent on these projects and get better ideas around compliance of who hasn't submitted their timesheet and so on and so forth. So there's a full report pack around this that'll help save you a lot of time and give you a lot of visibility into all the different aspects of your projects. As you can see here, you can even predict information into the future. We call this predictive analytics. So you can see here I have a trend line of costs over time and how those costs are trending. From there, based off of that, we can set up a prediction of where this is going to go. So on the high, it could go up to here. On the low, it could go down to there. But in the median, we think it's probably going to be somewhere around here. And you can even set this up to say what your confidence interval is. And so we can, with confidence, say from a statistical perspective that we're 95% sure that costs going forward are going to be somewhere within this gray line here. So that helps to even help you predict into the future and get insight into what might happen into the future instead of just looking at current information or trend information over time of what's happened in the past. And there's lots of ways that these reports can be delivered. For example, these reports can even be embedded into PowerPoint. So if you're doing a presentation every week or every 2 weeks on the status of your projects and you want to be able to reference some of these great reports and information, you can pull those into PowerPoint, and they're actually still working reports where things will move around and the filters still work and the tabs. And so you can set up your PowerPoint presentation one time, and every time you come back in, it'll have the latest data so you don't have to keep rebuilding and rebuilding over and over and again. So hopefully you can see how Power BI allows you to get a lot of visibility into all the different areas of your projects, and it's very flexible and allows you to deliver those reports and that visibility in lots of different ways, including the one that I just showed here.